Hey guys, this is going to be a quick video where I'm going to answer a simple question, and that question is probably one of the most asked questions I get on the website. It is, when is it okay to hit the SOS button on my inReach device or PLB? And it's a good question, and I'm not qualified to answer it, so I sat down with Steve Goldsworthy, and he works for the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. He's the Director of Technology for Search and Rescue. He's also a member of the Montrose Search and Rescue team. And he uses, inReach technology all the time when he does his search and rescue, along with a lot of other different technologies. So let's get into it. He came up with a pretty good framework, a pretty good question to ask yourself, very practical, on what to do when you're thinking about hitting the SOS button. Now, before I get into it, let me just say there's a corresponding article, and I have a link to that underneath the video. It has a lot more information, supporting information, tips and tricks, more videos on this whole process and what's involved here. So please check that out as well. But otherwise, let's just dive into the process. Now, here's the question you should ask yourself. And this is from Steve Goldsworthy. It's a great question because it gives you wiggle room for your experience or lack of experience. If you are not sure of the outcome of your situation, hit the SOS button. You're not going to get in trouble if you have a genuine distress call, right? But it leaves wiggle room for experience too, because if I'm hurt in the backcountry and I'm prepared to stay the night and I have wilderness medicine, training, the outcome is known to me. But I could be 2 miles off of a road, have no experience, be lost without, a flashlight or a headlamp, and be scared for my life. I'm not sure of the outcome. I hit SOS. Probably those people are not going to have satellite communicators, but you get the point. And I'll go into the scenarios in a second. I would add a little clarifier, something I learned in Noel's wilderness class, and it's hit the button if you're in danger of life or limb. So if you're gonna die or if you're gonna lose a leg or a finger, hit the button and call for rescue. Now, if you have a inReach device or a two-way communicator like some of the spots or a satellite phone, it gives you a little bit more flexibility because you can call in and basically get information on your situation without necessarily activating a search and rescue team. So if you've been injured and you don't know if it's life-threatening or if your outcome is you can hike out or you might die in 10 minutes, you can chat back and forth with them on a text message and get clarification on the situation and get a rescue or not get a rescue, or if there's a fire or something. So an inReach is a much more powerful tool, and I'm going to go into the nuances of all the devices and the pros and cons on the article. So just click on the link below the video and you will get all of that information there. But otherwise, let's dive into the scenarios and put that framework into use. So not sure of the outcome, hit the SOS button. Let's do it. Now, when you're hiking, whether you have an emergency beacon or not, there are some things you can do before you go on your hike that will dramatically increase your chances for survival if you do get in a bad situation out in the backcountry. So the first thing you can do is prepare for the hike correctly. And that doesn't mean just looking at a hike guide, downloading a GPX file, and planning on following a line on your phone. That means looking at maps, understanding where you might have like places where you can bail out, side trails, if you're tired, if you're injured, how you can get home quicker, what the weather is like. There's a forecast site for summits. I have the link on the website for this article. But the weather in Mount Baldy Village is going to be a lot different than the weather on Mount Baldy Summit. So you're going to want to prepare and know what types of conditions you're getting into. Same with snow. I have a whole article on checking whether there's snow on the trail on the website. Check that out. Call the ranger station, see what the conditions are. Look at trip reports online. There's a lot of different boards on Reddit and Facebook. Ask questions. Be prepared for the hike. Don't put yourself in a situation that's potentially hazardous. And the thing I see the most is a trail that's, a nice hike in the summer, not, maybe challenging physically, but not challenging in terms of danger or anything. You shouldn't be going any dangerously challenging hikes in general. But Mount Baldy is a great example, right? Mount Baldy in the summer is a nice hike. In the winter, it's a mountaineering experience. And in the winter, people die. People with experience die on Mount Baldy. So make sure that you know what the conditions are. You can anticipate what they are, and you turn around, use common sense and good sense when you're out there. don't push yourself past your limits in the backcountry. That's not the place to do it. Do it on an exercise bike at home or something like that. So, prepare for the hike accordingly. Also, when you go on the hike, it helps to let somebody know the hike that you're doing and also when you'll be back. And an easy way to do this is just to send a text message with the hike guide. If it's an online hike guide, you can just email that link to a friend or family to say, hey, I'm doing the hike to Mount Wilson on the Mount Wilson Trail. Here's the guide. I'll be back by 4 o'clock. If I'm not back by 6, please call 911. And when those people need to call 911, you don't have to wait 24, 48 hours to call 911 to report somebody missing. And you don't need a missing persons report to activate a search and rescue team. If somebody is late and they have not communicated with you, and they should be communicating with you, call 911 and let them know that they are, whatever place they are is where they are, and they were supposed to be home at this time and they're not. You're not going to get in trouble. Obviously you want to head off a problem before it happens, so that's okay. The other thing you can do is you can pack a little survival kit. Now, this is a small day pack that I have, and I carry one in all my packs. If I'm going out into the backcountry, like a long hike in the backcountry, I'll pack enough gear to stay the night. I don't pack a stove and stuff like that, but I have a tarp shelter, I have a bivy sack, I have water maker, I have the things I need to stay comfortably in the backcountry overnight if I have to. And if you do have to, and you do have that kit, what I would recommend is practicing with it once a year. This is my smaller day pack, and if I have this, I'm not going to bring things I would maybe need for like an overnight or a hardcore overnight. If I'm just going to hike for 5 miles in a local park, I just carry a few things with me. This is a toilet paper and trowel. This is another emergency kit that I recommend. But I have a windbreaker, so I have some protection here. I have a bivy sack. This is like a little sleeping bag. This weighs next to nothing. If you're really cold, you can fill this with organic material like leaves or pine needles, and it'll give you extra warmth. Basically a sleeping bag if you need to spend the night or some time out there. And then I have this little kit here in a Ziploc bag, and you can see it's not a big deal. It's just a very small kit. I've got a spare headlamp. I also carry another headlamp. I've got a whistle. I have got a lighter. I've got a fire starter, 2 forms of fire. I've got some medical supplies here, and I've got a compass. So not a big deal, but having this and that bivy sack will, make a potential stay waiting for a search and rescue team much more comfortable, much more effective than not having these things. And it, weighs a couple ounces. It's really not a big deal. So come prepared, bring some stuff in your pack.
Okay, so you're 5 miles into your hike, you sprain your ankle, you can't move, you can't walk, you're not experienced in the outdoors, you're not prepared to stay overnight, and you're not sure about what's going to happen. You hit the SOS button because you're unsure of the outcome of the situation. All right, similar situation, you're 5 miles in, you severely sprain your ankle and you can't walk, but this time you're an experienced hiker, you're prepared, you have enough gear to stay the night, and you can also treat your ankle because you've taken a wilderness first aid class. So in this case, you don't hit the SOS button, you treat your ankle, you rest, you stay overnight if you have to, and you hike out. Now, if you have an inReach device, you contact your friends and family and let them know, or you even hit the SOS button, let them know, and let them know that you'll be hiking out alone. Okay, you've been hiking, it's getting late, and you want to take a shortcut to get home, but you've got trapped on a cliff, and you can't go up, you can't go down. You think maybe you can make a rope out of some clothes that you might tie together, but you're not sure, and you're not sure if you're going to make it down without falling, breaking your legs, etc. What do? You're not sure of the outcome, so you hit SOS. Next situation, you're 2 miles into the hike and you get severe leg cramps. What do? Well, the outcome of having leg cramps is just some leg pain. So you can stretch, you can wait it out, you can hydrate. There's things you can do to treat it. It is not a life and death situation, you know the outcome is just going to be discomfort. So in this case, you do not hit the SOS. Now, if you're not sure if it's leg cramps or you want to maybe get some advice, you could always call Geos and talk to them if you have an inReach device. All right, you are hiking and you fall and you hit your head hard. You black out briefly for a second, you get up, you're a little dazed, but you think you're okay. In this case, you're going to want to hit the SOS button. You have a head injury. It's not always evident in terms of the damage, internal bleeding, so you're going to want to get evacuated as soon as you can. All right, you're out hiking and you're lost. You don't have the gear to spend the night and you don't have any experience staying overnight. You've tried to retrace your steps, but you have no idea where you are, you have no idea where to go, and you are just plain lost. What do? You don't know the outcome, and you're going to hit the SOS button. Okay, same situation, but this time you've prepared, you have gear to spend the night in the woods, you have maps, and you just need to rest and wait for some daylight to find your way out. You're not going to hit the SOS. But if you have an inReach, you're going to tell your friends and family that you're okay and that you're going to be hiking out tomorrow after spending the night in the woods. Next scenario is that you are with a group of hikers and you get separated from the group because they're going too fast, and now you can't find them and you have no idea where you are and you're not prepared to stay overnight or navigate your way out because you thought you'd be hiking with the group. What do? You're not sure of the outcome, so you hit the SOS button. All right, this time you're an experienced hiker. You're prepared. You're in the high mountains, but it's a severe blizzard. You weren't expecting it. Visibility is 0, and there's lightning crashing all around you. You're not sure where to go or how to move. It's time to hit the SOS button. All right, you're hiking near a stream. You slip, you fall in the water. It's freezing. You get out, but you're shivering uncontrollably. You don't have enough clothing to get warm, and you have several hours to hike out. In this case, you could go hypothermic, so you're going to want to hit the SOS button. All right, this is one of my favorites. You're hiking, and the hike is long, and you're in the middle of the hike, and you're tired. Maybe you're hiking back out of the Grand Canyon or something. Now, you know what the trail is. You know where to go. There's no question in terms of being lost. You're just fatigued. Well, the outcome is if you keep going, you're just going to be more fatigued, so you can rest and keep going, or you can just keep going and be tired. So in this case, you're not going to hit the SOS button. You're going to push through the fatigue, rest, or do what you need to. Now, if you're in risk of something like heat stroke, it's different, but if you're just tired, you do not hit the SOS button. Now, the last one is a forest fire. Let's say you're hiking and you see smoke in the distance. Maybe it's in the direction you're going, maybe it's not, but you're not sure of what to do. You're not sure if the fire is coming your way or not. In this case, you're not sure of the outcome, and you're going to want to hit the SOS button for sure.
So that's it. That's what I got. Now, let me just say that those are my opinions, my recommendations based on the framework that we have about our outcomes and about losing a life or limb. Each situation is going to be different, so you have to use your best judgment, obviously, and adjust to the situation accordingly. I also want to say that this is not an official policy of the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department. Those guys were nice enough to add their wisdom and input to help me answer this question that you guys have been asking me. So, don't take it as gospel. Please adjust as necessary and just focus on staying safe out there. Now, if you enjoyed this and you want to learn more, I have a whole article that goes into what you should do after you hit the SOS button, some tips before you leave the house, what a rescue looks like, what the nuances of the different rescue devices are. So please go to the link underneath the video and you'll get all of that information there. It's worth reading. Also, I have some interesting information that was new to me on what to do if you don't have a satellite communicator. If you only have a cell phone, you could still possibly get rescued. There's some new technology out there, so please check that article out. It's very interesting. And if you enjoyed this video, please click that little thumbs up on YouTube. That will help other people find it and hopefully hike safely, have this knowledge and confidence in hitting the SOS button when they need to. And if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments. I will do my best to answer them all. So have fun out there, guys. Stay safe and hopefully armed with a little more knowledge and insight as to how and when to use your inReach SOS or whatever SOS you have. So yeah. A lot of people don't realize that most search and rescues are nonprofits. They're all volunteer-led. In LA, all of the volunteers in the search and rescue team are also EMTs. They've got wilderness medicine training. All of this time that they put in, not only to train, but to go out and risk their lives to save people in need. It's massive, and these people are true heroes. And can you please, 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 please go to the website. I have a list of links for all 8 of the LA search and rescue teams. They're all nonprofits. You can donate to them. A lot of the gear that they have comes from themselves. So go there, donate, thank them, do whatever you can, volunteer your time to help if you want. But you know, there would be no search and rescue without these people who literally put their lives on the line. Somebody died this past winter, a search and rescue team member, searching for a lost hiker in the winter on Mount Baldy. So this is serious business. Do what you can to help, and you know, enjoy the outdoors, stay safe, act responsibly so that we're not putting anyone's lives in danger, including your own.